Game Men Online. I am Dan. This is Isaiah.
Hello there. Whoa. Wow, I tried to say two different things at once there. I was just going to say hello there and hey there.
That can be like a catchphrase for you.
Hello there. Yeah.
This is a little bit of a special episode where Isaiah spent a long time playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've spent some time playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we've gone through so far. Very light spoilers, just with the Sky Island, like the plateau, if you will, of this game. There's a relatively similar structure to Breath of the Wild. So thanks everyone for listening, tuning in, all that stuff. Appreciate it. I wanted to talk a little bit about what I was thinking about going into this game, because there was a lot of hype around it, of course, deservingly so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Breath of the Wild 2 or Tears of the Kingdom was revealed at E3 2019.
I think that's when the interest in it was officially revealed then. Yeah.
4 freaking years ago at this point. It's hard to believe. It felt like it was going to be like another expansion to Breath of the Wild. They had no idea of a release date, which is totally fine. They tease it, and then people just speculate on it for 4 years. The thing about this game is it's $70, right? 70 US dollars. Now, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you're overseas or anything, how much it cost you. It's the most expensive first-party Switch game. I was doing some research, and there are some kind of strange, somewhat obscure ones online. That increased my hype for this game. It made me think, okay, it's not just Breath of the Wild 2. It's its own thing. We're going to get something different, is what I thought.
Yeah, I was hoping for because we were talking about a little bit about this beforehand, but I like Majora's Mask more than Ocarina of Time, so I was like, okay, Breath of the Wild is Ocarina of Time. I cannot wait for their version of Majora's Mask. So yeah, I was pretty excited when they announced it, because it's like they have this amazing foundation. In fact, Breath of the Wild is just like Ocarina of Time, where it like completely changed gaming in a way. Like it's like its own type of game now, which is crazy. Just how innovative the series always is.
And I think to me, the $70 price point is making me be a lot more critical of the game, because the fact that it feels to me. Now, I know the power-ups are different. The special abilities, there's a lot better ones. There's a couple weird ones that I've come across so far. But it makes me kind of feel like I got ripped off a little bit. I haven't played Breath of the Wild in a long time, but my memory is making me feel like I've already done this.
I can understand why you feel like that at first. The game opens up in a big way. Because I don't know what you know about the game, so I don't want to say anything else. But there is more to the game than it appears. However, my biggest criticism with this game is it is the first Zelda game that feels like an actual direct sequel to a previous iteration. Where it's like, yes, Majora's Mask was technically a sequel to Ocarina of Time, but the game feels nothing like Ocarina of Time. I'd always say Zelda game to Zelda game felt like going from the original God of War to God of War 2018. Where it's like it redefines the series every iteration. This feels more like Breath of the Wild was God of War, Tears of the Kingdom is God of War Ragnarok. It builds upon the foundation, even just like with God of War Ragnarok, uses some of the same map areas and whatnot. Like that's a critique, but at the same time, just imagine how long this game would have taken to come out with all the stuff that's inside of it if they made a brand new world on top of everything. Because this was the longest gap between Zelda games, between Breath of the Wild and this. 6 years.
Tears of the Kingdom had a longer, developmental cycle than Breath of the Wild.
But yeah, no, I 100% understand what you're saying, especially because I think we both watched only 2 trailers for the game. The
teaser,
the teaser that just called it the Breath of the Wild sequel, and then the actual official trailer that revealed the name.
Correct.
And when I watched that official trailer that revealed it as Tears of the Kingdom, I remember thinking, this just looks like Breath of the Wild DLC. Yeah, from an early impression, especially like where we're saying we are in the game, where you've just finished kind of the intro part, it definitely feels like just another iteration of Breath of the Wild.
Now, would you recommend, so you're much further, obviously, than I am, would you recommend, let's say there's somebody who, maybe they've even never played a Zelda game before, would you recommend that they just play Tears of the Kingdom or go back and play Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom? Would they even need to play Tears of the Kingdom at that point.
For Breath of the Wild, I would say no. Unless you want to explore Breath of the Wild and get used to that world, and then you play Tears of the Kingdom and you see just how much has changed. Unless you're looking for that exact experience, no, I'd say Tears of the Kingdom is an improvement on Breath of the Wild in every single way. And that's why I think some criticisms are, oh, it just kind of repeats some of what Breath of the Wild does. It's like, yes, but I think it does it slightly better. So far, where you are, what do you think of the narrative, especially compared to Breath of the Wild?
So far, the only narrative I have is Link and Zelda were in. Now, this is, I mean, light spoilers for the story. I'm not very far in the game. So if you totally don't want to know anything, you haven't opened the game yet, then just tune out, come back, save to watch later, all that stuff. There's the corpse at the bottom of the basement, which causes everything. Zelda's trapped in the Temple of Time. I don't even know how to explain what keeps happening with her, because I make it down to the bottom land. We see her off in the distance, and then she disappears. There's one point where you have the Master Sword, which is like kind of eroded because of the stuff that...
Yeah, the gloom.
Yeah, he sprays on your arm and he sprays on your sword.
He breaks the Master Sword. Crazy.
Yeah,
that's the first time it's ever happened in a Zelda game.
Somehow, you teleport the sword to her. I'm not quite exactly sure what's going on, but...
Are you intrigued by that, at least?
Yeah, I just, want to see who this villain is, because it's finally doesn't seem to be Ganondorf again, or Ganon, either way.
Everything will make sense. I will tell you that. And not just narrative, like the main narrative, because, Breath of the Wild had a narrative, but it's fine. I think the world feels more alive in this game. I get it in Breath of the Wild, it's calamity. People are not out and about doing stuff because you just feel like your life is in danger all the time.
Yeah.
This world definitely feels more lived in.
That's actually quite a good point that I didn't really pay attention to when I was playing Breath of the Wild, but there's basically nobody in that place except the old bearded man that follows you around and that kind of thing. But I do enjoy when there's some consistency in that sense, because sometimes some companies will make a sequel to a game and just completely not pay attention to any of the things they wrote in the lore or anything like that from the first game, but do appreciate when they pay attention. That seems like they took a lot of care with this one.
Yeah, this was a game where I looked at my Breath of the Wild playtime. It was really fun exploring the land, but it was also the first time you had ever done that before. I took some time off for Tears of the Kingdom because I thought, all right, I'll be able to beat it in the same amount of time I beat Breath of the Wild. It's going to take me way longer. There is so much more to do in this game.
Yeah, and to your point about Breath of the Wild, so I beat it. I'm looking at my Switch now. I put about 200 hours into Breath of the Wild, but I have not gone back to the game. I did every single shrine. Of course, I didn't do every single Korok seed because I'm not a maniac. The only thing is if they had achievements or trophies like PlayStation and Xbox, then so many people would have done the Korok seeds, but there's no reason to. Sounds good. So let us know, have you started Breath of the Wild? Yes, you listening.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Have you started Tears of the Kingdom? Thanks for listening, watching, however you're consuming it. I'll probably just drop some gameplay on this video, so total spoiler free, probably just me running around whipping up on Bokoblin's ass or whatever. All right, so let us know what you think about Breath of the Wild. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to keep doing it. Let us know what you think about Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, either way. And thank you for watching, listening, all that stuff. And go to the channel, check out some movie reviews, and we do have a pretty good Pokemon review up that people seem to like. So, and then just share with a buddy. So on that note, we'll catch you guys next time with numbers,
movie review,
numbers inside, and more. All right, we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.